Hi. Streaming as usual. Today, um, when we last left this, we had a rare bug that we wanted to correct in our battle card game. And I was able to, I think, nail it down off stream. We started it, though. I'll revisit it, only to say, I think we got it. And I will leave the debugging information up so that I can catch it in case it happens again, because it might happen again. Um, if it does, I have the information ready to bark back to me so we can see it. Um, we can see the information we need to make sure that we got it. So let me briefly recap. We have battle cards in lanes. They are set up in a formation. They march to the other side of the field, and the opponent meets them in these lanes. You know, lane at the top, in the middle, on the bottom. And there can be 3 lanes, 4 lanes, 5 lanes. And if there are no cards in the lane anymore, they're supposed to collapse. This was working, but there was a rare bug because if there were more than one lane to collapse, it began to mess up. And it took a while to, we did this last time, it took a while to figure out what was going on. But in the process of having this lane collapse down or this lane collapse up, I was incorrectly continuing to check which lane it's currently in to determine what direction it should go. And I say incorrectly because it really should just do that once and then move in that direction until it's done. And instead, it was checking which lane it was in. And so at some point, it would be in a lane that was collapsing or something, and it would move the wrong direction or would stop moving. This was something we could figure out with some analysis, but I had to do some debugging last time to really figure it out. Um, this time, I think we got it. And I could try and I almost got to the point where I wrote some code to force the condition to happen so that I could verify that I got it. But I didn't need to. Um, last time we worked on this, I noticed this wasn't here before. This is me saying, okay, collapsing lanes is happening, and if there's a timer that runs, and that's the time that the lanes should be collapsing. When the timer's done, we should stop. So that's what this is. But this we added because this I'm able to catch the very first frame where collapsing happens so that I can set it up and I can find what direction all the cards should be going. So this was some way of indicating should the card move up, should it move down, or should it basically sit there, whatever. The point is, once I set that up, then the normal collapsing of lanes can happen and it can be reliable. It really just looks up what is the direction it should go. It becomes a multiplier of the speed that it should move. This is a slight change to what I had. The key difference being that I do this calculation of what direction should the card be moving once, and I do it up here, and that's it. And it's not only more efficient, it doesn't run into the problem, because if this calculates what lane is it in, what lane is it in, what lane is it in, and it keeps doing that, well, pretty soon the card could be moving through a lane that points it in the wrong direction. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave these debugging lines here because as we see lanes collapse, we could see the problem again. Not that we are expecting to see the problem, but that we are wanting to confirm that the solution actually works. So I'll leave that up. And that means we can return back to playtesting. The idea is now that we have a gameplay prototype that effectively works, we should be able to really focus on what is the player experience and what changes to the rules that we have already implemented should we engage or disengage to get the right combination of game rules that make it the most challenging, the most fair, etc. I haven't been able to get around thinking about this while I develop, because I'll develop a feature and we'll be playtesting just to make sure we're getting other development working, and I'll become aware of the player experience while I'm doing it. And so there's some things like the distribution of the stats for the cards. Each match, the cards are remade, and the stat needed to be evened out. The stats on all the cards needed to be evened out, and so there's some things that I can't help it. We needed to adjust as we were going, but now we're here. There's marching orders that we might have, we might not have. There was a thought yesterday about potentially mid-battle changing the marching orders, and yesterday I was saying like, nah. Funny enough, this morning I'm like, actually, yeah. The way I was describing it yesterday was something like, this game is really about intentional play. You set it up and you watch it go, and it's really your skill in setting it up and putting the cards into battle. So of course, it should be you set up the marching orders and you let it go. But now I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute, why not have the ability to change this? Maybe not on the fly. One of my concerns was that it's not a twitch reaction kind of game. That's not what the skill is supposed to be encouraging in the player. So what are we doing? That said, there's a neat balance that I kind of like. The idea that, yes, you are setting it all up here. And now that we go, wouldn't it be nice if you also had the ability to change it? And I can cheat and do this now. So I'm sitting here, okay, my marching orders are this, my formation is this. This is all the stuff I set up. This works great. Oh, I'm realizing right now, well, now I see what their marching orders were. I wonder if I should hide this until the first card is flipped over. That might be nice, actually. I might do that. So this could be something where I hide the opponent marching orders until the cards flip over. That might be a rule. But at this point, I'm saying like, yeah, I'm going to attack most power. Well, perhaps now I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, dang, that's bad. I shouldn't do that. I mean, I can't quite tell right now if that's really bad or not. But what if I was able to change this, right? And so, like, in mid-battle or something, I say, yeah, actually, I want to change it quick. I'm going to do most speed. Okay. This does automatically change because this is being updated every frame, even as the game is paused, because this is actually a GUI update. In other words, the graphical interface is being updated every frame in the editor, whether the engine is running or not, whether the game time is running or not. And so my little change, I mean, I didn't plan on it being that effective, but I'm kicking butt now. And I'm not going to say like the marching orders made the difference, but that's the thing. Maybe it does. Maybe this is something that we really do want to offer the player. Excuse me. And that's what this phase of the development should be about. I've mentioned more than a few times, Because this is a card game and it's so darn simple, I would absolutely 1000% just paper prototype this. I would make cards, and knowing the rules of combat, I would just play this out role play style on a tabletop and work out all of this stuff that we've been doing, including how to set the formations and um, how to manage the distribution of the card stats and all this stuff. I would totally be doing that. I would even be thinking about the art style at this point. But this hobby game that I'm developing here on stream is my chance to say, well, let's try something different. There is a school of thought. Uh, I can't say it is the professional way at all, but it is actually fairly common. You'll hear it half the time when you hear people talking about game design, that there is a phase called finding the fun, where some game is developed and you play with the rules of the game to find the fun. I have never led a team to do that because it is, as we've been doing here on this game, it takes so much time to develop the mechanics to actually get to that stage. Like, it took a long time, well, a couple of months, for us to get to this point where I can now turn some of these rules on and off and change things to see where the most fun, most challenging, most fair, most compelling, most engaging gameplay is because of the combination of rules. This, I already have a really good sense of what that is, but I'm going to verify it. I'm going to play with this, changing the rules and seeing how the rule changes make the difference. I'm going to be finding the fun. I'm going to practice this way of working that I frankly have never, I can't say I've never done it, but I can't in good conscience lead a team to do this because of the time sink. It takes so much time to get this much of the game developed, even as bare bones as this is really far along compared to just thinking it through and, like I said, paper prototyping on a tabletop. I would never ask programmers to go through this. Just maybe we'll have the develop these features because maybe we'll use it. I can't even bring myself to say it like that because that's exactly what it is. It's ridiculous. And programmers would look at me with a side eye and say, "No way, dude. You figure it out first and then tell me what I need to build." And that's fair. That's absolutely fair. If I were an engineer, I would hate the designer who says, "Yeah, I don't know. Why don't you make a few things and I'll tell you what I like." I mean, I've seen that happen with artists and animators, and you cannot come back from that. That is terrible leadership. It's also just bad design and bad planning. Can't get around it. It's just a bad idea. But I can't in good faith say it is without a doubt the most awful way to work until I actually, try it. If this is just a hobby game I'm going to do on stream anyway, why not, right? Hello, Gaming Forever 65. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. We're making a card game, and I'm yapping. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. All right. Well, let's see. We already saw the lanes collapse a little bit, and it looks like that was working okay. I'm going to continue to play a little bit, but there's one other thing that I could show off. This gameplay prototype is bare bones, but wouldn't you know it, we actually have a little bit more. We're going to have to do some art soon, and That's not terrible. It's just it's going to be even slower than this code development that we've been doing. Um, One other, so I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to go for most speed and try to take out the fast cards first. Um, we've just been hitting play and going through the two different views of our game. One where you set up your cards in battle, and the other one where you watch them be in battle. But of course, games have more than that. Games have menus and things, and although I didn't spend too much time on it, I did actually stand up a menu such that this game could be built, and that's a good thing. It's nothing fancy. Of course, this is not fancy. I mean, there's nothing good about this yet. But because very soon we're going to come to a resolution on the right mix of rules that make up the core gameplay, I think we're just about there. And then we're going to move on. We're going to have more to develop that is relatively straightforward, simple, easy peasy, kind of. And that's like menus and music and even the art and the sound. It's a matter of finding a theme that's going to be translated into visuals, translated into music, and then we'll find them, we'll source them, and implement them. It's really not difficult. This was the hardest part, was developing all the code. At this point, we're good. All right. Well, we're in overtime. I just left it as going for the highest speed. This is one of the rules. I mean, I think yes, I shouldn't know what the marching orders are until the cards flip over. I think that's a good move. That's a good change. But I'm also really starting to lean into maybe these marching orders should be active and available to change as the battle progresses. Um, if this button goes away, and we don't, I mean, I'm only stopping because I need to evaluate how things are going. But if that button goes away and this battle just plays out, just, you know, battle cycle after battle cycle after battle, it just keeps going. This set of buttons for the marching orders becomes something that you might, you know, not not twitch gameplay, but you kind of you have to rapidly think about what you want to do and change it on the fly. That's a different kind of gameplay, and I think it might actually be a neat balance to go between this setup and go versus this kind of improvisational change. Okay, we're going to see this lane collapse after they do a round. Oh, that's another change. I may actually have this card want to collapse sooner than that the rest of the cards have a round of battle. So there's a few rule changes we might play with at this stage. But I do like how the lanes are collapsing. They're all doing the right thing. This is the debug that we were... so let's see, there was a lane collapse here. It talks about 10 cards, even the ones that are dead are counted at that point. But then these were the cards that needed to move, and moving down is +1, moving up is -1, I believe. And so these cards were coming together because lane 4 collapsed. And if there's more than one lane that needs to collapse, this directional value can be, how do I say this? It's non-destructive. It isn't set to 1 or -1. It's actually added to. So if a card needs to move up and because of one lane, but the other lane makes it want to go down, it zeroes out, it cancels out, which is exactly what we want. So I think this directional stuff in the lane collapse is working now. Even on that edge case, I mean, we could wait till the edge case pops up. I'll do that. See, here's one where the lane actually canceled out. This was a couple of cards that didn't need to move. And so there's no move. But we saw it collapse appropriately, and I'm feeling good about that. Let's look at that silly menu. There's not much to it. There's really nothing to it, actually. But the idea being, at some point we do need a menu. So yes. And this name needs to change, of course. Of course, we're going to have some kind of actual legalese. But the idea being, now with this silly menu, we could actually build, and this button is key to that because you can actually quit the application. You need to be able to do that. This just goes to the game we've been playing, and if you ever hit escape, it does return back to this menu, so there's really nothing to it. This does actually quit. So clearly bare bones, but functional. And the idea being we would want to think about the progression that the player needs to encounter as they enter the game and navigate around until they actually get to this core gameplay. And like we've been saying, this all is going to be refactored. Once we get the right mix of rules, I will rebuild but keep the functionality the same. That's what refactor is. Because there's a whole lot of inefficiencies that are here. That's just the way it is. Also, we get a chance to improve on the visuals at the same time. We get a chance to implement sound at the same time. So it's good. Our challenge at this stage, where the gameplay that is this core gameplay of selecting your cards and going into battle, our challenge is to try to stay as objective as possible. We need to pretend that we're the player who's never seen this before. We need to understand what they would see and kind of memory wipe our own understanding of this game that we've been working on for 10 weeks or whatever it was. I think it's important it can't be overstated. It's always safe to go back to the player experience, but I think at this stage it's more important than that. It would be way too easy for us to feel like, oh yeah, this is of course this is how you play and this is what you would expect and all that stuff. Well, are we sure about that? We need to be advocating for the player, not for us playing our own game. I mean, this game is not for us. When you make your game, it's not for you. It is for others. And to that extent, any bias you have about how your game is played or should be played needs to be checked. You need to understand that you have it, how you have that bias. And you need to navigate around it. All right. With that, let's implement this. Showing the marching orders before a card is turned over is actually an issue, especially if I want to be able to re-enable these marching order buttons and allow a player to change mid-battle. I don't want them to know what the other player is doing. And in fact, now that I'm saying it, I need to realize that this AI might also want to change their marching orders. I hadn't thought about that. I mean, they are literally just doing a random selection right now, which, interestingly, hasn't resulted in any significant gameplay difference, which might be something to consider. Maybe it is a totally useless feature. I don't know. I mean, in the mechanics of battle, it does matter to know, hey, your card has the ability to attack one 2 or 3 other cards or something, which one should it choose? Which one should it attack? The game logic actually needs to know which one to do, and I could just pick up one at random. But the thought was, well, this should be in the hands of a general sending their troops into battle, saying, make sure you go for, the archers, right? Attack the machine gun nest first. Take out the aircraft. This is the kind of marching orders you would have, and then once battle's engaged, all hell breaks loose and you have to change your plan. But this makes sense. There's something here that makes sense. Among all the stats on the cards, pick the one with the least health because they're almost dead. That makes sense. You could have a different opinion and a different strategy. I think there's reasons to keep this around until we find a good reason not to. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Okay, let's do this. This should not be up until the cards are turned over. I think in practical terms that means, let's see, what's this? I believe that means that cards are not actually in battle yet. And then at some point they are. Here we go. So I can look for cards in battle, and that can be the indicator of when to show the opponent's marching orders. Okay. Oh, by the way, just to sort of, because I'm demonstrating the code, this is the bare bones code that is used to make the menu, nothing big. But there is a pattern that I use with the very old school GUI system that Unity uses. It's a pattern, and patterns are good for design, they're good for programming. This pattern says, give me a rectangle I will use over and over again. Rectangle because this is 2D space. All our user interface, whether it's a HUD or a menu, has effectively squares or rectangles that we can put labels in or buttons in or whatever. I need to know the dimensions of the screen because that could change. We could be on mobile, we could be on a desktop, we could be minimized, we could be maximized. And so I constantly look for adjusting my layout based on the size of the screen. And there's a handy GUI style with this old school system that roughly mirrors HTML, which means there's just a lot of options to make it look good. This pattern allows me to just reuse these elements over and over again, and I do so for the title, for the legalese at the bottom, and for the buttons. I do keep track of where the mouse is, frankly, because there used to be functionality to highlight the color on hover, but long story short, I need to actually do it manually. So I manually look for when I'm hovering and change the color. No big deal. This is what allows me to actually see an adjustment in font size, not just the size of these rectangles, depending on what the current size of the screen is. This is width, there's height as well. And so in that way, I can really just compose my layout in terms of a proportion of screen space. This is 5% from the left edge. This is 5% from the top. This element is 90% width. So you can imagine if it's 5% on either side and 90% in the middle, this is centered and taking up most of the width of the thing. This is the title, so it makes some sense. Anyway, there's really not much in this script. I use that pattern over and over again to make, in this case, the button. Here's the label for the legalese, which is just garbage right now. But yeah, I will work on more of that later. What we have to do is, as I mentioned, think about what the path of the player's experience is from the moment they start the game, including like a splash screen, who knows, perhaps a cinematic or something, um, a tutorial level, or instructions, or options, or credits, or whatever, right? There's actually probably more than a few menus to deal with. Um, of course, all that is outside the core gameplay, so it's not as important yet, and it's not, frankly, not that hard either. So, okay, now our GUI system that we use here, it's the same pattern actually, and we um, have our buttons for, there's some label for overtime. I'm looking for, here's a label for, oh, it's the score and everything. Okay. Oh, the announcement. Okay, so this is later. What comes before it? What's drawn before it is, there we go. Here's our button for player 2. Oh, yeah, talk about inefficiency. I actually duplicate this code. So this is two big blocks of code that do the same things. This would absolutely be refactored. So here we go. This is the condition of whether or not to show those buttons for the marching orders. Actually, I'm using a discrete variable for that. Okay. So we shouldn't show it, and then we do. Okay. And I'm adding this to the battle. That sounds right. Yeah, in battle. That should be the time we do this. Why wouldn't we do this? Oh, because we're in table view. Oh, do I just do this? This might be the simplest ever. Let's test. So the goal was, can we make sure the marching orders do not show up until the cards are flipped over. Let's see if that works. Oh, we're in table view right now. Wrong. Okay, let's just undo that. Yeah, this is table view. So we do want the marching orders here. Okay. But, so this is wrong, actually. So somehow I'm setting that to be true at the wrong time. But I thought that was it. Well, let's try this, actually, just to get the feature done here. This script knows about the battle and knows if there are player 1 cards in battle. There's more than 0 cards in battle. Let's try that. Okay. Okay, so it's showing me my marching orders, but not the other player. Oh, darn it. Oh, okay. No, that worked. There's one of the things I'm going to refactor is the timing. And the cards were marching towards each other, but actually behind the scenes, the battle data is already set up. So this is true. This actually worked. I don't have any opportunity to do anything different in that time anyway. It's almost a preordained battle turn, actually. Oh, interesting. It goes away because there are no cards in battle right now. I wonder. The idea being, it would be nice for a player to know what the opponent marching orders were, as part of like understanding how the opponent plays, right? Imagine this is not a AI, but just human. You want to know how they play. So knowing what they chose is interesting. Do you want to hide it again after their cards are um, destroyed? Perhaps. So, like right now, the condition literally is the cards must be up. They must be in battle, technically, but you know, on the playfield and turned up in order to see the marching order. Okay. Well, another thing to do is potentially. So, okay. I kind of want to figure that out. Maybe we do. Um, maybe we do want to allow the cards to stay up. Hmm. I don't know if there's the easiest way to make that happen. Marching orders is set false at one point. This is the round resetting. And then it's set true at a point that I thought was actually fine. Uh, add to battle. Hmm. This really does seem like, is this adding it to the battle? Oh, from the player hand into battle. Is that true? Uh, okay. And this is, okay, when is this called? Mm, yeah, we're configuring this. Is that it? Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, so there are cards that are on the table, and if one is flipped up, then we should um, add it to the battle, which is sort of like the next round has happened. This is auto config. Okay. Um, right. This is talking about in subsequent rounds, don't forget the cards that are still there, or subsequent battle cycles. Don't forget the cards that are already up and in battle. That's what this is. It sure seems like this should be um, asking that cards that are in play should now be added to battle. Added to. That's exactly what's up. Um, let me try this. All I'm trying to do is see if this condition helps me here, because it's possible I want to actually use it for this. Let's see. Um, um, I'm gonna look for some feedback here. Okay, this is, oh, this is what it was before, because I undid the condition I was using before. Hold on, I'm not getting anything. Cards in battle now. Well, yeah, actually. That was, the timing is bad. I don't want that. Do I? If we don't show the marching orders until after a cycle of battle, actually, that might be like confirmation of what you saw. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna do this. I think this will still, no, it doesn't make it false. So this will only make it true once. It will only be set false again on the next round. Okay, this might work well, actually. Let's see. What we're trying to do is, this actually, we'll change this later to be always up. But we're trying to see if we can get the opponent marching orders to stay silent and hidden until they turn over and then stay up. Okay, this is not working. So it thinks there were cards in battle. There's none. There's nothing here. I is confused. Oh, I'm saying show marching orders on both sides. Oh, right. No, this is silly. I don't even know why I'm doing that. Yeah, this is kind of weird because I'm talking about player 2 and I'm checking that condition to show marching orders, but it shows both. So, yeah, I might need to rethink how I'm doing that condition. Let me try it again. Because right now there's one variable that says, please show the marching orders. And I haven't really thought about keeping player 2's marching orders up while hiding and showing player 1's. But that's exactly what we would want to have happen. Yeah, see, even player 2's is hidden right now. I mean, it's the timing's a little better. It does go through a cycle of battle, and then you see the marching orders that were used, and it stays up even if they die, which is good. But I think player 2 needs to be able, I mean, if we're going to change this to be active during battle, we would want to be up pretty much the whole time, I think. Which means that one variable for both is probably inadequate. I need to have a variable for player 1, a variable for player 2. That's okay. I think it's worth it to try this idea of keeping the marching orders up during battle. I also want to get rid of this button, this do battle button. I want to see what that looks like, because I think having a kinetic battle that is active and stuff is important, and the stopping is terrible. So make this active after a round. You know what? I'll keep that the way it is right now, with just one variable handling both. But I would like to make sure that player 2 can actually click its buttons. Player 2, I was making it disabled. Right. If I show them, then make it disabled. That's what I'm doing. But for player 2, I'm going to allow them to change, and I believe this will. Yeah, this still actually configures it. Yes. So okay. Let's try that. There we go. It's active. So while the battle's going on, I'm able to change this. And just to confirm, yep, that's defense. Yep. So, that's a couple of changes we're playing with. I couldn't see the marching orders until we got into battle and some cards flipped over. And now player 2 is able to change their marching orders during battle. So we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. And now we know. We know what they're doing, and we're able to change what we're doing. Like, I can make a decision right now. Like, this is a big change, actually. Now I can say, well, based on what this is, I'm going to tell my team, please attack this. Like, actually take this dude out. Yeah, go for most luck right now. This will cause both of them to attack casted curse. Oh, dude. And of course, luck win. But I should. Oh, see, I'm not used to this change, but I would also be able to change this in mid battle. And actually, that's mirroring what I want to do with that button. If I take away the do battle button, it is just going to roll. It's going to go forward. It's going to move forward. It's going to move forward. And so it's not going to stop. And I am not used to that pacing at all. Let's try this. I'm going to go for least health and see what I can get out of that. So that do battle button is going to go, except for the very first one. I guess I would keep it up for once. Now, do I want it to go away? Or do I want to be able to think about this? So this is definitely the stage we've been looking forward to. Now that these are things I can just turn on and off and manipulate because it's already built, making these significant rule changes for how the player plays and then evaluating how that changes the player experience is the value of performing this way of working. And so I'm trying to make the most of that. Right now, before I hit do battle, looking at these cards, what can this dude do? This card could. The power is terrible. Wow. Wow. Well, I think that I can't even reach that one. Oof. That's awful. I guess go for the most speed because that would allow you to attack Zombie Bear. It's not much, but you have a little bit of advantage to take out some of the health. Gosh, this is terrible. This is actually a bad situation. Oh, and then this one turned out to have most speed, so. And I could change this. There's not much I can do here, but I'm gonna try. Okay. So now I don't know if I want to take the button away that says do battle. Because stopping allows me some time to think about what I want to do with this. This turns out to be kind of cool, actually. Okay, let's play for real. Let's actually look through these terrible cards. Oh my gosh, they're terrible. Wow. I guess I'll do that. 1 health. Okay. All right. And I will change from least health to something else. Yeah, he's dead. That took no time. Yeah, I need to have these cards gang up on this one, so I'm gonna go for least power. No. Least speed. Okay. Just so I can make sure I'm hitting this one. Unless this has less speed. Oh, it's okay. So both my cards picked on this one. It's okay. Mid battle, I could still have changed this, but it was going by too fast. I don't have time to really think about what a change in the marching orders would do based on what is actually going on in the battle. So, okay, I'm torn. Part of what I want this game to be is set it all up and then watch the chaos unfold and have over the top kinetic battle happen. Well, I can't say it's going to be over the top kinetic battle if I'm going to stop over and over again. So I'm torn because I do like the idea of strategery being employed and we do more to think about what we're going to do. But the best I can do now is react to which card is up. That's what the value of this would afford me. And knowing what they do is interesting, especially if I can remember what cards it was that I laid down here. So I'm going to say, well, if I have more cards gang up on this one, maybe it'll be good. So I say least speed, and hopefully they'll all gang up on this one. Okay, that knocks Doom Garden down a lot, but now I'm neglecting the fact that these cards are getting free shots. So I maybe will go least health. I'll try to attack this card. There we go. So now quick, least speed, go. So this card's going to get ganged up on. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think I can remove the do battle button because it affords me the time to think through what this decision would be. And I think right now, having more time to decide on the best strategy is the way the game should be played. I can't say I'm ready to give up on kinetic battle yet. Oh, we should try it out for sure. But this seems important now. because if I want to be able to like read the stats, figure out what's going on, I mean, I could slow the battle down, but I don't want to do that, frankly. That also sounds counterproductive. This is where having a decision about the theme. See, I can't even adjust the marching orders because they started all turned over at the same time. Okay, so I might need to change that condition, but it appears. But having an idea about what the theme is and understanding, well, it is about you being a general. You're not actually on the battlefield, so you don't have too much opportunity to change the strategy mid-battle. If that's true, then yeah, you shouldn't have access to the marching orders, or you shouldn't have easy access. How do I say that? There's a balance between the things you want to give the player that help them do what they want to do, and there's challenge you need to offer the player as well. This is one of the ways that it would be challenging. And as long as it's in line with theme, players largely accept this. So it's worth pursuing a little bit further. These are great cards, actually. I'll take all of them, thank you. We don't in this order, but okay, given their formation and such, I'm going to go for least health again. Actually, most speed sounds good. I would like to have a speed advantage. No, I'm going to go least health. And speed advantage sounds good. I'm going to hit that one first. I want to stay alive. This card can do that. I want to do a lot of damage. This card's going to do that. Okay, good. I don't mean to mirror their formation. Is that a dominant strategy? See, I keep doing this unconsciously. But I wonder if this is actually a dominant strategy to mirror their formation so you can count on when your cards that you're selecting are going to be in place. I don't know that it's dominant because there might be a time when you want multiple cards to flip over at the same time. And so there you would not mirror the formation. Interesting. Okay, so, let's go these power for sure. Let's get rid of rail boots. Absolutely. So, this one also has, this has health and defense, so, okay. We're going to get more shots off because our speed is faster, so we're going to be able to take out rail boots pretty quick. At that point, these cards are by default going to attack Casted Curse more often, so I think it's okay. Now I got this to deal with. Okay. This lane is going to collapse. These cards are going to attack each other for a while, but until then, it's these three. It almost doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what my marching orders are. They're going to attack this group and that group until there's just one left. So hopefully angle deflectors can hang out by themselves and in. Oh yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. Okay, so I felt a little more in control. Everything from the card selection to the formation to the marching orders. I felt a little more in control of that battle. Okay. All right, let's go back to that condition again. Because where's that? This, where am I? This is not right. Add to battle. Okay. So this doesn't quite work if um, I mean, what I need to do, since this is right now, this is the only place where I say marching orders should be shown. I might change where this happens because this was okay, but would be better if I find the location where there are actually cards added to the battle. And I thought that's what this was. But apparently not. Let's go find is it here? So this says if there are already all the cards in the battle, then we don't need to be here. But this is handling where, yeah, find the cards on the table that have met in battle and add them to, okay, and then any cards already flipped up stay in battle, else check new cards to be put in battle. Okay, so this sounds like a pretty good place, actually. Let's try and replace this. So we're going to do this somewhere in here. After this, battle should be set with new cards. If battle cards, I want to know if this is more than 0. If so, yes. I think this is the same condition. I just put it in a different place. And I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but let's try it out. I'm starting to feel like least health is always a dominant thing, but I don't know. I'm going to try a different one. And wow. See, I would never actually place, if I could help it, I don't want to place a card on the table with 1 health. That's terrible. I mean, it gets one big shot. I mean, it is a powder keg. Look at that. All power, no health. Yeah. Because it's not going to last. It's going to go boom. It's a powder keg. Okay. This did not work. Oh, it did work. And it's going to stay up. No, it didn't work because it didn't work because this is happening before that cycle of battle happens. In other words, if cards meet all at the same time, flip over all at the same time in battle, I don't have any opportunity to do anything. Even though I'm now saying perhaps we want the player to be able to change marching orders mid-battle. Well, it's not popping up. So this is not the right place. What I need is, I don't think this is it. Yeah. What I need is the place in this script where Advancing cards. Cards not flipped. This is just moving them towards each other. Yeah, if cards moving toward each other. They stop moving towards each other because they're close. So if it's more than this distance, they move, and else they are going to stop moving. See, this is where I'm thinking this might actually be what I want. I don't know. Let's see. Looking for the point in time during battle where it should then show the cards. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. It's not bad. So even if they all kind of hit at the same time, I think that would be like this. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. Okay, that's fine. Let's try something else. That's not it. Well, now we're in the cycle of battle, so maybe this is a better spot. This is actually cards are getting taken out. They're doing damage to each other. We're deciding which one to attack. We are getting out of this because nothing is attacking. Okay. And before that, we're deciding if things are attacking. Okay, so this might actually be it. Yep. Battle key 1. Cards length 0. Let's try this again. I'm not sure. That's why we're going to have to test anyway. So I don't mind hunting and pecking a little bit. But this is now looking past the point at which we would not engage in battle. That means that we are. Which sounds like a really good time to show us marching orders because we might change them during battle. Like, don't show it, but then if we are gonna, no, I want it shown right now. Oh, there it is. There it is. Good, 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 good. Okay, that works. Because I can change this now. If I'm fast, I can decide that it should be that. I don't think it mattered. But that real quick reaction stuff, it's interesting. Part of me says there's a balance there between the very slow, methodical decision making you do during this phase, and then you could do some kind of quick reaction kind of gameplay during the battle. And it starts to sound actually pretty logical and more like combat, more like actual battle. There we go. Yeah, that's a good timing. Actually, that's a really good timing. I like that. But its card's weak. I didn't really look. I'm gonna go for the one with most speed. I'm gonna stay there with the most speed. These will stay wide until one's defeated. Then they will collapse. And the collapse actually worked. That was 2 lanes collapsing. This is exactly the condition we were fixing yesterday. 2 lanes collapsing. And it knew that there was a stranded card, knew to collapse the lanes. We are collapsing 2 of them. These cards, because of lane 2 collapsing, we're going to move in this direction. And they are moving in the same direction because for both lanes, because the lanes that are collapsing are in the middle. And so they did collapse at twice the speed. All good. That is the edge case we were seeing before. Good. All right. Well, yeah, actually, until I see a problem with that lane collapsing issue. Okay, this is good, actually. Yeah, I'll just note that. Until I see a problem with this, I'm going to say this is good. This is collapsing lanes, and I don't need to log all this data anymore. In fact, I'm going to start cleaning up my log a lot because I'm feeling pretty good about how the battle is working and everything. We could potentially still change some rules, and I need to log some of the battle stuff. Okay, this is probably nothing I need to do. There we go. Stranded card. Yeah, I probably don't need this anymore. Collapsing lanes. Probably don't need that anymore. And so there's still some logging that happens for battle. The battle order, I think, still does. And the rounds still log, and that's okay for now. Okay. Well, we're getting there. I'm going to take a very short break. I need to get coffee. So, so with that, I'll be right back. Be right back. we do need to work on our title. And it doesn't hurt to think about the player experience from the moment they launch the game. Think about the games that you've bought and what happens when you launch the game. It's not silent, it's not quiet. It's probably doing a lot to encourage you to get into the game immediately. The music, the cinematic, the title, the timing, the progression. There's a lot that goes into this actually, and it's like reminding you what it's like to play the game before you play the game again. Or if you've never played the game, it's getting you into it quickly and helping you understand what the game is all about. We need to do that too. It's not too early to think about that, what that might be. Um, I don't think this. I don't think the current version of this game is anywhere close to what we need to get players to well, even to understand what is going on. I think is is lacking, but also just getting the theme of it being like when you see a name of a card, know that it's going to be fantastic, over the top, and not too serious. So, Moon Mouse. Sounds. If you thought Moon Mouse was a serious name, you might be confused when you look at a different card and you start seeing silly names. You know, um, I think it's important that we begin to set players' expectations, that we get them thinking the right way about this. Like it, don't take it too seriously. This is fantastic, but you are a general. You're trying to win. Um, so on the fly, I could change it so I could get rid of that one. That actually worked. Wow. Um, get ready to be a general. Okay, so there's something interesting about that. So I have all this time to consider which cards and what formation, and I can see the other formation, and so I'm gonna think about that. I mean, I can feel this. This is me spending a lot of time and being careful with my decisions. And then by contrast, in the battle, like quickly going, oh, quick, change that marching order, quick, quick, quick. That feels very different. That feels very, very different. Um, so I'm thinking this is fine. Nothing surprising here. I really don't think we need the do battle to stop every step like that. But now immediately I'm like, oh wait, this has a lot of power. I should be able to survive that. That's fine. But I don't have a lot of health. Ooh. Okay, so now I want to start doing things because I'm trying to read what the stats are on these opponents and what I can do to them. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm doing fine because these cards are stacked up. This is gonna be we're gonna win. Yeah. It's a bit frantic. It's too frantic to say once all the cards are turned over, quick, change the marching orders. If I have that moment where the button is still up and it says do battle, I have a moment. I can figure stuff out. I can decide. Okay, this is yeah, switch. If I, it's a great card actually. If I think about this, I'm going to go for the most speed because I want to be the one with the most speed. So like now I'll have a chance to change it, but there's no reason to. There's only one card. But in the other, uh, the battle I was just in, all of them turned over at the same time, and I was like frantically trying to figure out, quick, what are the stats? What should I be going for? What should I change my marching orders to? Right? Uh, Actually, that's not bad. I'm going to keep it right where it is. It doesn't matter because there's only one card, so there's no, these marching orders won't affect it at all. Okay, but these are all going to turn over at the same time. I go for least health just to make sure that I take this one out. And that worked. And so now I want to figure out quickly, what am I doing? Least power, go. Okay, it doesn't matter now, they're one-on-one. Earlier on, when we were in the early stages of the gameplay prototype, it was this two-on-one situation we were just starting to implement. Because we had done one card versus one card. We were just working out the very basic core mechanics of battle, like how the stats actually equate to attacks and that kind of stuff. But then the next thing was, it would be great if there could be two-on-one. And the analogy was actually from Valorant when you have a teammate swinging the corner with you, right? You might be able to trade out. This this is still showing itself to be valuable. I'm seeing that actually play out, which is kind of satisfying. I have to be careful about that bias. I don't want to be, it's called confirmation bias. I don't want to confirm what I believe to be true. I want to remain objective the whole time. But in this case, yeah. Okay, so quickly. Least health, least health, least health, least health, right now. Yes, there we go. Okay, so that's gonna go for fire wasps and try to take them out. Tidal cannon has a lot of power though. You know what? Let's try and get rid of that because they're doing a lot of damage every time. This card is stranded, but this lane is full. Oh, they got a luck win. That's not fair. Gee. So, boy, I'm liking the balance. I had a feeling yesterday I was saying there's no way this is against the theme of the game. But now I'm really liking the balance between deciding carefully here and then frantically clicking the marching orders here and once you're in battle. I'm starting to like that a lot. Design often deals with uncertainty, and not in a bad way. We rely on the possibility of things while they are uncertain, which means we kind of need things to be uncertain for a while, which means we need to be very comfortable with uncertainty. This is one of those cases where I was like, yeah, no, our game is about formations and selecting the cards and being careful with those decisions. And then you see it go, and then it should be all, frantic, kinetic battle. And I changed my mind because I'm starting to value the balance between the two skills, the variety in the two skills, the contrast in the two skills. Being able to select carefully, sure, but being able to quickly evaluate and decide this really should be our focus right now. Like I'm quickly reading these stats and being like, yeah, least defense might be good. Now I'm saying, okay, so I didn't have time to think about it. I didn't have time to adjust it. Uh-oh. Luck win, maybe? Maybe? Yes. That was rare, but I was a luck card, and the other card did not have a lot of luck, so I. Okay. I'm trying to evaluate. There's a bit of improvement in terms of the gameplay, in terms of that balance, adding to the experience of each match where I'm going to be careful about my decisions and then try to react really fast, try to read the cards really fast, which, by the way, it's really good that these stats have these bar charts. I don't know. This was a decision when we were composing the cards. The stats need to be there, the numbers need to be there, but it's hard to read the numbers. Can't we just do a bar chart to really show the relative strength at a glance? And I haven't really used that except for maybe a little bit when I evaluate the cards like this. But wow, now that's super important because if I want to be able to quickly react to what I see unfolding on the battle, I need to see those stats on the opponent's side immediately. This also could be a reason why you might put your formation together in a particular way so that you have time. Like right now, I have time to realize uh, how I might change this. Go for least luck. Just what the heck, right? Okay, good. Now, Astral Spiders gonna be able to help here, swinging with their teammate. These are all going to come together at the same time. I'm going to go for least health right now, which is fairly safe. Oh, now I'm doing least power for sure. Oh yeah, good. Done. Okay. By the way, the AI is called opportunistic AI. It's absolutely dead simple. It's basically going to do a random move unless there is an obvious opportunity to take. So in other words, the marching orders are absolutely random right now. And actually all of it's chance right now. But I should think about what I can do with the AI now that I'm saying that player 2 can adjust their marching orders mid-battle. Perhaps I should adjust. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was one shot. These are one shot. Oh my goodness. Wow. The only reason it wasn't is because this had so much defense. This is still down to one, I'll bet. I should say least health. Yeah. Okay. It's very subtle. There are things being changed in the player experience, but they're very subtle. I want better cards. Give me better cards. These are terrible. All right. I'm not really spending a lot of time on my formation. I'm spending more time on the card selection, and I'm almost entirely forgetting to set my marching orders. So I need to deal with that because I don't want my player to do that. Okay. It definitely comes up now. I'm thinking about this now more. The marching orders really matter now. Okay, this do battle button, I was not sure, but now I am. It needs to stay. I didn't think so, but now I'm starting to think this is necessary. So this cycle of battle needs to go through. Setting up my formation so that these wouldn't meet until later affords me time now to do this carefully. Is that something I want the players to be able to do? Okay, I'm going to say least health. Yeah, least health, so that this attacks that. And it's going to get a couple of rounds of that. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to change at this point. It's 2-on-1 and 2-on-1. We're doing well. We're good. We're good. So part of it is, the battle is going to go into chaos. You had some control and now you don't. I guess the biggest difference that I'm noticing now that we've implemented marching orders active during battle, is before I would have this moment of deciding what cards need to go in, and I would say go, and I basically stop. I stop playing. I'm now just watching. But now that we say, oh, hold on, you can actually affect the marching orders, I'm engaged for longer, and I feel like I should do something with this. I feel like this is something I need to pay attention to now. I want to frantically decide this or that or something. And if that's the case, if I feel that way, I'm starting to think that this is, it's engaging, first of all. And I really hope it's not just a cosmetic change, but it's an actual tactical advantage. It feels like I am getting some tactical advantage by being able to change the marching orders. I hope that's true. I need to play with it a bit more. Oh, this is a great card. It's even better. Okay, I have speed cards here and a defense card here in the back. This is going to take a long time for them to come together, which gives me time to do battle. I've set this up with, I think, least health. Nope, most defense. I want least health right now. I want to get rid of Mirror Wolf, so I have a card advantage immediately. There we go. And now I want to go, yeah, least health. So that way, Time Pony will attack Shadow Imp, but then these two will attack this one. And they are speed cards. They're going to get the advantage. That's good, because these are defense cards. They're going to take a long time to wear down. Good thing we have a decent amount of health. Sonic Starling. Yeah, let's do these power. There we go. Good. Okay. I'm pretty sure I got a tactical advantage by changing the marching orders mid-battle. I'm pretty sure that's objectively true. At the same time, I felt like that's exactly what was going on. I felt like it was smart for me to change the marching orders mid-battle. Okay, these are good developments. course, we're going to continue testing and try to stay objective, but that's pretty good so far. Okay, these could be better. These could be better cards. Ugh. All right. Well, I could have a lot of power, a lot of luck, a lot of defense, or a lot of health. I guess I'll go for health and put it in the back. Yes, keep these apart. That's going to give me time. Okay. Now, the rest of this, I want to... Okay, that's got a lot of health, a lot of defense. It's going to do at least 1 damage no matter what. So this is good to keep around. It's going to have... let's do this. It's going to have a lot of health. Okay, it's going to go fast, and it's going to be somewhat powerful, actually. It's a good card. Oh, it doesn't have any health. Gosh darn. Right. So, oh, I didn't set marching orders. So this is why I'm starting to think that what I need to do is actually put marching orders front and center, or even require you set marching orders explicitly before you can say do play, because I'm forgetting it over and over again. Okay, and I really did want to set something with probably least health. Yeah, least health sounds good. Yeah. Okay. I want to continue doing least health. Stonefall's going to have an advantage here, but Zombie Bear has a lot of health, so it's okay for now. Ooh, yeah. Uh-oh. Zombie Bear is going to either go for Stonefall or help Turtle Tank here. I think it's okay if it goes after Stonefall. So I'm going to have it say least luck. This is going to change, so Zombie Bear is going to do this now. Ooh. Okay. I need to say most defense. Oops, too late. Too late. Maybe the luck will save me. Yeah, no. So part of that, there was a portion of that was like a fait accompli. I looked at the cards that were left and I was out of options. But it took a while to get to that point. Of course, we were in overtime by then. It took a while during round 3 to get to that point in the battle. Before then, I felt like I had a chance. Yeah, that's actually really good. So, oh, that's like the worst card I've ever seen. Come on. I notice that what I do when I'm trying to figure out what marching orders do I change, I'm looking for the very lowest numbers. And if I see a low health, I definitely want to do this, right? If that's a dominant strategy, in fact, least health might always be a dominant strategy. I don't know. If that's true, I want to find a way to really balance this. Either take this out or yeah, I would have to think about what we could do with that. Right. So far, these rule changes are making it a little bit better. Yesterday, we were talking a little bit about the possibility of adding new cards as part of the rule changes. The options that we have for rule changes include being able to add special cards. A resurrection card, for example, to pull one out of the discard pile and have it fight on your side. I like least health here, and this is starting to feel like a dominant strategy. I mean, I have had times where I want to say least luck because I want this one to get taken out. See, when there isn't a choice of cards to attack, like they say least luck. So Zombie Bear is going to get wailed on. Sorry, it will be attacked. There's no 2-on-1. There it is, 2-on-1. There we go. So Tidal Cannon and Generator Overload. Oh, Fearcaster have the same luck. Okay. So at this point, the marching orders matter less because of the number of cards that are there. But there are times when it really feels like I have an opportunity to take mid-battle by switching my marching order. Okay, but I definitely am forgetting to do marching orders. I mean, I could just throw it in a big old pop-up in the middle of the screen and make do play be a button that's on that pop-up. So the only way you can move on to the next stage of gameplay is by considering marching orders. Like this, I'm just reflexively coming up here and doing this, and there's no reason why we would keep these buttons where they are or anything, but just the fact that it's over on the side right now, I'm completely forgetting to do this. And yes, it could just be a skill issue, you know. If I know that this is so important, this is what advanced players do, and I learn to do it better, I would just remember to do this. I can kind of feel myself learning to do it now, but I'm gonna go for the ones with the most power. Right now, there's only one, so it's no big deal. In fact, it is a power cards. My goodness. So I might not want to attack Powder Keg. I would if I said most health, so I mean most power, so I'm leaving that. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. Yeah. So this, like yesterday and today, I mean, aside from the bug, the rare bug that popped up that we tried to fix, that, we eventually fixed. Today is about playtesting, 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 and try to get in tune with what the player's experience currently is and what potential changes to the rules that we've already set up might help. Might help. Good defense and good health. Both these cards are great. They have terrible power. In fact, all of my cards do. What's up? But I'll keep these cards for the next round. Hopefully we'll go to overtime. And again, I forgot marching orders. Yeah, this is now a problem. Because I'm trying to remember to do this, but I'm so concerned with the card selection and the formation, I forget. And it could be that just least health is what I would do without thinking, kind of all the time. This would concentrate firepower on this one and take out that card, so now I have a card advantage. It just makes sense. Yeah, it is feeling like a dominant strategy now. Or tactic, I guess it's called. Quick. Make changes. No, I'm good. It's 2-on-1 and 2-on-1. I'm fine. At some point, one of these is going to be stranded. There you go. And now it's going to be a line of cards ready to take that one out, so I'm good. Now, earlier in our gameplay, battles always felt like that. It started to go one player's way, and that just snowballed and became obvious, a fait accompli. But since we've done the rule change to make sure cards cannot attack unless they're in range, this is actually more rare. I'm glad that it's not completely gone. That there is a battle that sort of snowballed is good, as long as it's rare. I kind of like that. Okay, so here we are in overtime, and I have my cards that I wanted to save. That were pretty good, except for the terrible power. So let me look at the new cards I got. Ooh, awful. I'm glad I saved those cards then, because these are terrible. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I guess I want health and defense. Power's pretty good. With speed, I guess that's okay. All right, and now I need to set a formation. And don't forget to do this. Okay, so, yeah, least health. What else am I going to do? Of course I'm going to do that. I do most power, I guess. Least defense? Maybe. You know what? I'll try it. Mm, ones with the least health I'm going to keep to the back. Health and defense. Power and speed. Health and defense. Okay, so this is going to probably be like that. Let's do it. These cards are going to be giving me time because they have not joined in battle. It's going to take a long time for them to join in battle, so I have time to figure out changes in my marching orders. Okay, least defense means War Unicorn is going to get tagged. It's not terrible. Oh, It's a luck card. Oh, come on. 2 luck wins. Okay, that was rare. That's okay. All right, so yeah, toast. Going least health is a nice go-to strategy for marching orders. Uh, it's not. That was just unlucky. 4 unicorn got 2 luck wins, which is rare. Okay. It feels like this got further along. It feels like this is um, engaging in a place that wasn't engaging. The battle was more or less spectator sport, but now it's got some engagement because of this. I do need to do something about forgetting these marching orders all the time. Um, we haven't done much yet to come up with ideas on special cards that we might use. I mean, I have thought of a few, but um, we're not quite there yet. Um, yeah, this marching order stuff was actually one of the big question marks that I had about what to change. At least help things. Yeah, so we can take rail boots out if we can. Great. But, oh, come on. The luck wins. They're terrible. Okay, now it doesn't matter. Yeah. There are some kind of out there ideas about rule changes as well. Like, hey, in our last round, there were some cards that didn't die. I guess the way I would explain that in terms of like lore is that battle happened and that battle is no longer happening. So those cards have, moved on. They're doing other things now. The entities or creatures that were part of that are no longer part of that. Okay, this is just not worth it. Um, but it could be that cards that have survived in the previous battle do something or have some impact. Maybe they're not still in your hand, like you just reuse them. That wouldn't necessarily be fair. It wouldn't make sense either. They were damaged. They went into battle. They were hurt. I like most speed actually. That's a good one. Okay, most defense, please. Yeah, we're gonna win. So, so there's some out there ideas about what we could do with cards that technically survived. Like I had most of my cards still there. Um, is there something we could do with that? I don't know. It's not necessary that we employ some weird rule. I'm just saying, while we keep our options open, there are plenty of them. Okay, these are my cards. Um, I forgot my marching orders again. Uh-oh. Now, I've seen this bug before. Doggone. I've seen this bug before. This was even more rare than the other one. Ugh. What I just saw was these cards did not advance. And again, it's the bottom row. Why wouldn't they advance? Not flipped up. In play, for sure. Wow, why wouldn't they advance? Okay. Well, I didn't want to find a bug just before the end of the stream, but here we are. Advance cards, that's what's up. That's collapsing lanes. Here's advance cards. So why didn't they advance? Find all the cards based on card flipper. And if it is not flipped up, wow, why didn't you do it? Then go find the card with this. Wait, what? Card. The card flipper game object. Oh, this is. Hold on. No, these are all off. This is name. Okay, confusion. Why am I saying card flipper game object? And then find the child game object. Okay, local position X. Why am I going all the way around the horn to do that when this should be plenty? Okay, I need to think about that one. Because I'm basically saying this card, the flipper on it, go find its child. And if this value in X is more than 0, then you're moving to the left, otherwise you're moving to the right. That's what that is supposed to be saying, but why do I need to go find the child? What's that about? Why am I doing that? I'll come back and figure that out. Yes, I am ending stream in a second. But given that I know that I'm moving either to the left or the right, and I can only be moving one way or the other, so this is not the problem that I just saw, which was don't move at all. Now you are looking at other card flipper cards and finding ones with the same local position. Is that the problem? 7 and problem. Looking for all the card flipper cards. Why am I not checking to make sure it's not the same one? Like this should not be equal to that. But if it does find it is equal, oh, that's actually the problem. Because I'm not checking to see if the card that I'm currently moving and the card that is in the same lane are not the same card. So I'm not checking to make sure that's true. So this could be War Unicorn finding War Unicorn, and of course it's got the same local position because it's the same card. And then it asks, hey, are you already close enough? Of course it is close enough to itself. It's distance of 0. So literally, if OC is not equal to C, and, okay, because if this is equal, then I'm looking at the same card. Like I'm going through all of the cards, and then for each card, each one is looking at all the other cards. Well, I need to make sure it's not the same. If it is the same, skip it. If it's not equal and it is in the same thing, then I need to know, okay, these cards are in the same lane. Are they far enough apart? So now, okay. That's okay. I actually, because this compiles on the fly, I should actually see these cards move now. No, darn it. I need to. Well, I'm going to end stream because I need to end stream. But now I've got a new bug to deal with. It's not unheard of. I mean, we're testing, of course. But rather than continue to adjust the rules and find the right combination of rules, instead we are not backtracking, but we are keeping an eye out for this bug while we go forward. That's going to be a rare one. Is it? I think it is. I mean, I don't see it very often. I guess, yes, it is rare. Yep. This is definitely saying, look at cards that are in the same lane. As long as it is not the same card, okay, then you can find the distance between them. And if the distance is more than that, then move it. This would be the only reason why it wouldn't move together. So I think that is what was going on. I'm pretty confident about that. We need to confirm. So we go. Okay. All right, and that's good. I mean, we got partway through our process to improve the game, and I think we did make some steps to improve. So I think that's positive and good enough for today. Yes. And so, for our visitor today, Gaming Forever 65, thank you, and appreciated your support and presence. It is a present, and I'm done. I'm out. Have fun. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye bye. See you. Okay.